Welcome back to Be Creative Stamping. Today I'm going to share with you how to create this shirt card just in time for a masculine birthday, or even better, Father's Day. So it is a card, and I'm going to pull out the shirt, and you can write something on there, or you could even fit a gift card right here. I'm going to insert it again, and I'll be giving you all the measurements so that you can create one. And you'll see the only thing that sticks out is the collar of the shirt and the bow tie. But let me show you what I used to create this. I actually used the mini Treat Bag Thinlits Dies, and this is in the 2015 Occasions catalog. So let me show you what it looked like before it became a shirt. It was actually a treat sack, and I trimmed off this ruffled edge so that we don't have that on the shirt. So hopefully you can see that. And let me show you the dies that we're going to be using. We're actually going to use this one right here. This is part of the bag. And then we're going to use this bigger piece. Since I'm creating a new shirt card, I've decided to use Blackberry Bliss, and I'm using the In Color designer paper stack. It does come in 12 by 12, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut it at 6 inches. And then you are going to use this framelit right here. You want to make sure that this little blade right here, right along here, should face the paper. So I'm actually going to position it right here, and I'm going to run this through the Big Shot. Here's what it looks like when it comes out of the Big Shot. I have this paper left over, and I have one more piece to cut out, and it's this piece right here, and I'm just going to lay this right here beside the other one, and I'm going to cut out this piece. This is the second piece after it's cut out of the Big Shot. With the leftover designer paper, you're actually going to cut one more thing, and that will be 3 3/4. This is actually for the collar. I'll show you that in just a minute. But you'll cut this at 3 3/4. Whoops. I've got to take off this end here. I'm just tearing off that last little piece. So 3 3/4. We are going to rotate this, and we want 7/8. And so I will try to zoom in so that you can see that. Let's see. Zoom in a little bit. The 7/8 is right there. So I'm going to put the designer paper on 7/8, and I'm going to trim that, and this is going to be for the collar, so we'll use this later. Now that both pieces have been cut out, we are ready to attach them together. And so you are going to want sticky strip, and I don't know if you can see this. Let me just fold this. There is a score line right along here. So I'm folding that so you can see that score line. Look for that after you've cut it out. And this is where I am going to apply the sticky strip. So here we go, right along that score line. And then I'm going to trim that. And then I'm going to need to peel this off. So let me see if I can get my scissor blade right under that red covering. There we go. Take that off. And now I'm ready to attach the two. Now when you do attach this, and maybe I'll zoom in so that you can see me attach it. I think that'll work. You want to line up your bottom. So let me scoot that so you can see it. Here's another score line, and I know score lines are hard to see, especially on dark paper. But Anyway, this is where the fold is going to be, so you don't want to do any folding there when you attach it. You want to line up the bottom of this to this. Alright, so I'm going to do that right now, and then I'm going to adhere it. Alright, so you can see how I did that. And I'm going to zoom the camera back out, and I am now going to fold this other score line. Again, these score lines are difficult to see, but once you cut it out, you'll be able to see it on your cardstock or designer paper. It's just hard on camera. Alright, so I'm going to fold this over, and I do want to close this. And so I am going to take the sticky strip, and I am going to run it right along here and cut it there. By the way, the doorbell, if you heard the doorbell ring, I have Stampin' Up! Boxes at the door. So my UPS man just came. He usually comes about this time every day, which is around 3. Alright, so I'm going to try and lift up this red covering here. And this is the tricky part. I know this can kind of be frustrating. Alright, let's see. There we go. I pulled that off, and now I am actually going to close the bag. Okay, now you've got one flap left, and we are actually going to attach this as well. And so again, more sticky strip. I've applied the sticky strip, and now I'm going to try and lift this off. So see, you're not the only one who has trouble with the sticky strip. Alright, and I'm going to lift that little piece off, and then I'm going to fold the bottom. Okay, so now I've got this nice little pocket, and if you remember, here's the pocket over here, and the little card comes out. So now that you've created this, we need to make both sides even, and we're going to get rid of this zigzag edge. And so I'm going to bring my Stampin' Trimmer in here. Let me turn it around. And I'm going to insert the pocket, and I am actually going to, take the back of the bag here. I'm measuring there, so I'm going to take it to the 1/2 inch mark, and that's where the ruffled edges are. And then I'm going to close my trimmer, and I'm going to use the cutting. Let me do this. There we go. Use the cutting blade there, and it takes this off, and now you have your pocket. Okay, the next step is going to be to create this collar and this bow tie. Okay, and so I've already given you the paper measurements for this strip of paper, and let me measure for you one more time. Again, it's 7/8 by 3 3/4. Okay, so I'll just bring that up so you can see it, and that was just cut with the leftover designer paper that we had. And so what you want to do is you want to take the ends, and let me zoom in a little bit, I think that'll be helpful, and you're actually going to bring them in like this, and you're going to put little score lines there. Okay, so you just have to guesstimate where the center of this is, and then you want to angle your paper so that it actually creates a collar. Okay, all right, so the next thing is our bow tie, and we're going to use the Bow Builder punch, and I am going to punch out 2 of these. And as you can see, you don't need a lot of cardstock to create the bows. All right, I'm going to zoom back out so we've got a little more space. And I'm actually just going to be using these 2 right here. I am going to use a bone folder so that I can break up the fibers in the paper. This is really helpful with cardstock. You don't have to do it as much with designer paper. And now I want to close it with a glue dot, so let me find those. Here they are. And I'm attaching a glue dot. And I'm just going to fold this over and close it, okay? And I'm even going to push this down a little bit. I could completely close it, but I like a little bit open, and it gives it a little more dimension. Let's go back and look at the bow tie, and you'll see that I have a piece of designer paper wrapped around the bow. So we're going to do the same thing with the Blackberry Bliss. Let me go ahead and attach these two. Okay, I've got them just like that. And now I'm going to take my bow builder punch, and I just have a piece of scrap paper. And I'm going to punch that out. And I will go ahead and use the bone folder on that as well. I'm going to attach another glue dot. And I'm going to wrap this around the center. And I'm just going to position this till I'm happy with it. And now we have our little bow tie. All right, we're now ready to attach the collar to the card insert, which I'll call the shirt. And your measurements for this should be 3.5 inches. I'll show you where that is. This is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Alrighty, so we are going to need some glue dots again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the glue dots right here on these two angles. And this is the part that's going to be attached to the insert. So here are my two glue dots. I'm just going to guesstimate where the center is, and probably laying this down will be easier. And then I'm going to put it about right there. So the only thing attached to the insert are these two little points here. And now it'll be easy for me to attach the bow tie. So again, another glue dot right there. And then I'm going to make sure that my bow tie is attached to the collar, all right? And so there it is. You want it attached to the collar so that the card will insert. So let's try that now, and we'll see how that turned out. And we're going to go ahead and slide it in. And there we have a new shirt card. We are going to add some buttons, so this will be the very next thing that we do. I've already pre-cut the Blackberry Bliss and the measurements for this. And I will actually put all these measurements on the screen as well so that you'll be able to see it. This is 1/4 inch, so I'll bring that up. And then this should be 4 3/4, which is the size of the shirt or the insert. Okay, so the best way to do this, I like to use 2-way glue and just run it along here. All right. And then, because the bow tie is already here, that kind of tells me where the center is. So I'm going to use that as my guide. And that's why we put the bow tie and the collar on first. It just makes it easier to get this little strip on here. And you can see I'm lining this up with the dots as well. Okay. So that is just a guesstimate. All right. We're ready to add some buttons, and for this part I'm going to use candy dots, and I'm using the white ones so that the little white polka dots will just pop out. And let's see, I'm going to use an odd number. I like to pick them up with my scissors, and I'm going to put one right up here at the very top, just like that. I'll even zoom in for you. Okay, and here's the second one. Tweezers would also work quite nicely with this. I'm going to put one at the bottom. This just kind of helps me space them. And now I need to open a new package. The candy dots have the adhesive on the back, and they come in all 4 color groups. And so you can get a Brights collection, Subtles, Regals, and this is the Neutrals package. So let me go ahead and lift that up, and then I think I will put one about right here. And again, what I'll do is I'll go down to the bottom. I just dropped it. Here we go. I'll go down to the bottom and put another one and kind of space that evenly. And then we'll take this last one and we'll put about right there, okay? And so now you have a shirt card. It's a great Father's Day. It could be graduation, prom with a little tuxedo. Great for Father's Day. And again, you can stamp something on the inside. I will show you which stamp set that I used. It's entitled Amazing Family, and if you have this one at home, this is an awesome one. You're such an amazing father, and I'll show you that on the Lost Lagoon. I just remembered one thing that we want to include, and I almost forgot it. So we are going to make a little shirt pocket just like this one. And so we're going to use the small tag punch. This particular punch is retired. If you have it, it's an awesome one to use. Let me find my cardstock. Here it is. I'm going to insert it, but certainly if I insert the entire thing, the pocket is way too big. It's not proportional to the shirt. So I'm just going to kind of move it about right there, okay? And punch that out. You could certainly just cut a piece of paper and angle it. Let me do that again. It's too short for me. So let's see. I'm going to do it about right there. And then I'm going to attach it right there. And you can even attach it with snail. One other option is to use a white gel pen. And using the gel pen, you can just make some little lines going across here. We do sell the white gel pens. They're in the idea book and catalog. Just like that. You do want to give it a few minutes to dry before picking it. If I had done this particular pocket with the lines, it would look like this. So it looks like stitching. And again, I need to give this a few more minutes to dry before picking it up. Maybe I can just do that. I don't have tweezers. That would certainly be nice. There you go. There's your little shirt. Let me know if you have any questions. And thanks so much for buzzing by.